Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Prison Break. This is a 6th episode of the 2nd season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So, we had 8 fugitives on the run. A Bruce is died. We've got 7. Still not seen anything of Haywire. I would love him to be, you know, away, actually cross the border, the only one that's not really caring about the money. And when we do get a clip of him, it's him sipping on some pina coladas on the beach, absolutely chilling, free of obviously ever getting caught, because we know that the rest have gone to try and get the money from Charles's location. He said that it was in a location, the Double K Ranch underneath a silo, and when Michael and Lincoln with with Teabag and Tweena locked in the trunk of a car, I've gone to that exact location. There is a big massive construction building site on top of it, well, housing estate. It's been built over before, and now they're obviously stuck. They're not knowing what to do. They're thinking that they're never going to find the money. Maybe that is you know, what's going to happen. They're not going to find it. But we have another person that's still looking for that money, and that is Sino. And he did log on to the military server, and he typed in the Double K Ranch, and he's found the exact coordinates. So maybe he can get a little bit closer than these guys. Now, interestingly, we did see Mahone start dragging all of people's connections. We have seen people being obviously located in different areas, you know, by different people, and he's trying to put it all together. He realized that obviously Charles was DB Cooper, and he put the stories there, and he's figured out that this location is where the money's going to be. Now obviously he's going to get on the plane, he's going to go there, and now it'd be interesting to see if they're still there digging, searching, or if they decide, you know what, sack it, we're just going to go our own way. So it's going to be interesting on that one. We can see that Sarah, she's getting closer with her father. He actually come, give her, you know, a bit of support. He was saying he'll be there for her. Killer Moon was there in the apartment. He was pretending to be obviously her friend from this group that he's currently in. Brought round the pie, you know, they was having conversations. He was asking her stuff about Michael and the prison and all that stuff, but nothing too pressing, just more like general, you know, kind of seeing you on the news, you know, hope you're okay, so to speak, that kind of thing. While she was in the other room talking to her dad, you know, he was kind of scoping around. He did find the origami thing. He did see the numbers that Michael wrote down, and he has taken a mental note of it. He's called the office, who then obviously told him that this is an out of bounds number, or whatever you want to call it, service. For the past 10 years, it's not been connected. So is that Michael's number, or what's actually going on with it? Is it something more deeper? Do we have to decipher it? Is it a code? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it a coordinate? Is it a place? I don't know, but that's what they're going to obviously try to determine in future episodes. Like I said, going back to Mahomes, we have seen him twice stood there looking at this little pond thing in the garden. I'm not too sure what reference that currently has, but it's definitely something that we've got to keep our eye on, because I think that it's not coincidental that it's been shown 2 different times. Also, we've seen that he actually does have to take some sort of drugs to keep his kind of nerves intact. You know, he has got a dealer. He's asking that he wanted a prescription or something every 30 days. I'm not too sure what the drug was, but it seems like he's doing it off his own bat, and not in terms of like his peers and his bosses and everybody knows that he's kind of got this condition. So that's interesting as well. That's why he keeps it in his little pen. But he's getting closer. He is narrowing the, you know, the grid down, and I'm excited to see obviously what everybody does in today's episode. Thanks for checking it out. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode. We're actually getting him today. I kind of hope that he was sat on a beach chilling. Yo, he's gonna have ultimate brain freeze. He's gonna see him watching. He's like, what? Is she screaming at me?
What, you got a divining rod tattooed on your ass?
I don't want to hear anything out of your mouth other than what your photographic memory spits out regarding that map!
The ranch was in the center of a box. Sheep road on one side, Sing Road perpendicular. And the ranch house was surrounded by trees.
Over there, then.
Inside the trees, I want to say on the left. I didn't know this place would now be smothered in tract homes, so, you know, I'm sorry that I'm not Rain Man over here. Well,
technically, if he never read the map, then he would never be in this predicament. But then also, from his point of view, you know, he kind of had to eat the map. So, yeah, that was his only leverage, wasn't it? What even is a silo? I actually don't even know, you know. I actually don't even know. But they've actually narrowed it down. I suppose it makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Look around. You usually bury stuff around a location, don't you? Like, if you're going to run to a field, you don't just bury it in the middle of the field. It wouldn't make any sense. It'd be too hard to find. What you do is you find, like they were saying, a big tree, a point of interest, a location that no matter what, you know, that's going to be freestanding for a long time. That's personally, like, people do it in concerts, you know. Where I lived is a big park. They always have concerts there in the summers and stuff, and obviously people can't take alcohol and stuff in. So what some smart people do is they actually go around the trees, dig some holes, put the alcohol in there, obviously bury it up and that. And then once they're inside, once the concert starts, they'll go out there, they'll just dig around the tree, point of interest, location that's never going to change, and get the stuff. I think it's quite clever. That's the way he should have done it anyway. He should have picked it. Something that he should know that it should be there for a long time, because a tree hardly ever gets knocked down. And then that's where it will be.
Have those files my office requested on the D.B. Cooper case?
We're pulling them now. I have to ask, aren't you here for the Fox River 8?
I am, and they're here in Utah to get D.B. Cooper's money.
You see those two trees? They're shorter than the rest. They were all planted at the same time, but those two didn't get as much sunlight.
Something was in their way.
The silo. We'll dig straight down. If we hit the foundation, we stay. If not, we go.
Ain't no problem that a screwdriver to her temple won't fix.
You're literally going to kill her on Earth.
I got an idea. First, we're gonna need some supplies.
That car's proper banged up in it. Look at the state of it.
I want my cut of the money.
Well, we'll talk. Once you prove we can trust you. I want you to go back to that garden center and get everything on this list. Don't screw this up.
Save Fox River no more, man. Looking at the real deal now.
Yo, he does deserve a cut, regardless of whether he, you know, ratted them out in the prison. You know, outside is different. If he does his bit out here, puts as much effort in as everybody else, he deserves his share. No way these two are gonna join paths. He's got to stop, hasn't he?
Thought you were meeting up with your family. I met a few roadblocks.
Going to Tooele.
Yep.
Well, looks like we're going the same direction. I'll make it worth your while.
Yeah, he's got the exact location. But maybe Michael, with his smartness, you know what I mean? Like, talking about how the trees were planted and some got sunlight and some didn't. And obviously they grew taller than the other one because the silo would have been blocking it. I mean, that's just really clever. If he's got that right, fair play to him. Now, obviously, T-Bag said that people die every day, mate. And, you know, killing one person for 5 million, that's a lot of money. Now, in terms of their perspective, they're already, well, him, he's already killed loads of people. So, like, what's one to his numbers already? Now, to them, they've never killed anybody, so they don't want to do that. But here's a tough question. In real life, if somebody come over to you right now and said, you can have 5 million, but somebody in the world somewhere, you don't know who they are, you can't see them, you just know that somebody's going to die, would you take it? Because that is a real tough one. Like, I know it's ruthless to say, like, but I would consider, I would have to sit down, like, morally and think properly about it, you know, because when the money's, like, dangling and whiffing in your face, it's so much harder now than just saying it out loud, no, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? But when it's right there and you could see it, it's different. But what I would say is if I could see the person that was going to die, I think I would always say no. That's different, innit? Like, if I could never see it, and it's just like, if I click my fingers now and somebody in Australia's died, that's, you know what I mean? Technically, I'm not too bothered, you know? But if I snap my fingers and a person stood right in front of me died, I'd be like, oh, I've done that. You know what I mean? I could see my decision and the pain that obviously it'll cause someone. So it is tough, honestly. For him, I understand it. For Michael and that, you know, they would never want to do it.
There's a guy here listed as having the only D.B. Cooper bill ever found in circulation, Harold Jenkins.
Yep, DB bought gas from Jenkins with 100 on the day of the hijack.
It's Jenkins from the gas station. He's still alive?
Should be. He was only 18 at the time.
Is it different than the one before? Oh, maybe he's just giving loads of different random numbers.
Do you have updates on Sarah Tancredi?
Expecting to brief the president.
Right now, as you can imagine, Carolyn's quite busy. Well, if you'd like for her to remain in office, you'll take my advice and just stay on the sidelines for now.
Why is he getting demoted? I don't get it. It feels like it.
Anything regarding Lincoln Burrows.
I want to talk to her.
You report to me now. You're not to try and contact Carolyn again without my approval, and you don't show up here unannounced. Now, do you have anything else on Sarah?
The president has unwavering faith in you.
Look, he's seen him at her house. Yeah.
Lance, this is my father, Frank.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Governor, are you with me? Absolutely.
Always happens. Mate, this guy'd have to get a bat to his head. Oh, he's not even moved the bat.
I need Sheriff Williams.
Tweener, man, you gotta think fast. Come on. There we go.
Used to steal copper wiring from transformer boxes. And then sell them on the docks, make a few bucks.
I was just looking, pretty. What's that old chestnut?
Yo, he's proper creepy in it.
The menu doesn't mean I'm gonna eat.
Now it's just up to the kid.
This fool came in the shop. He was acting all shady. He got a bad vibe, so he picked up his celly phone. He started making calls, so I popped it.
Who was he calling?
The sheriff.
Sheriff.
Did the call go through?
Maybe, man.
What do you mean maybe? Did the call go through?
Yes, I don't know.
We gotta move on this now.
Yo, Tweener done nothing wrong there, mate.
Sorry to bother you, ma'am. Is your electricity out?
Excuse me.
Alright, that's how they're getting in there.
There were some discrepancies in the statement you filed 30 years ago. In the report, it's noted that you said he filled up at 7 a.m., but on another occasion, you said it was 7 p.m. Which was it?
Both.
Full tanks. Both times.
Yeah.
Do you know, usually I'm all for, do you know, like when they ask you questions and then they're like, where was you on the 10th of at 3 p.m? And you're just like, God knows, mate. How the hell am I supposed to know that? Literally, I couldn't tell you where I was 2 days ago at a certain time. It's literally solid. So, like, when people ask you, you know, last year, when you was doing this on the 10th, you know, what was you doing? God knows, mate. You know as much as me. You probably know what I was doing, and that's why you're asking me the question. So, do you want to tell me, and I'll maybe ring a bell, and I could tell you technically. But, like, that situation, you would remember if they filled up gas in the morning or the night. You would actually do that. So, like, I couldn't tell you what time and what day I last filled my car up, but I could most definitely tell you if I filled it up during the daytime or during the nighttime. Do you know what I mean? Something like that you would remember. So, like, he's come in there, tried to get him on a conflicting statement. You know, we've had conflicting ones before when Lincoln, you know, was kind of caught, and the officer come in and said he seen him washing the blood off himself, and then I think another statement said that he seen him stood next to the pants or something. It's like, well, which one was it? Was he cleaning the blood off himself, or was he stood next to it? Those are completely different, aren't they? And like, this guy's obviously come in and questioned him. It's like, yeah, both times, mate. You know, he's come in the morning, he's filled up, he's probably gone and done his stuff, buried the money, you know what I mean? And then he's come back and probably filled up and then bounced. That's technically what it sounds like he's done. So what he's got to figure out is how far can you get on a full tank from that probably gas station, and then whatever perimeter that is in the direction of maybe 50 litres or whatever is miles, then you'll be able to obviously hone it down. But in terms of Tweener, right, he done nothing wrong then. He had to take that guy out. He was in there in the back. He was silent. He was chilling. He was getting the supplies. And then a hiccup happened. You know, if he wasn't there, the guy would have come, would have called, and would have contacted the sheriff. He was there. He stopped it. And he bought them a bit more time. He did. In my personal opinion, he didn't do anything wrong.
You're not with the electric company.
Now, feel free to call your company. But I should tell you, all they'll do is send over some tech, maybe tomorrow. But we're here right now, and we're ready to turn your juice back on.
My juice?
Yeah, D.B. Cooper was driving a 1965 Chevy Nova. Back then, a Chevy that size got approximately 8 miles to the gallon. Westmoreland jumped out of a plane with $5 million. But Westmoreland didn't have the money on him when he was arrested.
You've actually his numbers well different to me.
Further than 64 miles in any direction. I want everything you've got in that perimeter.
Mate, I knew that he would do that. I just done that as well, didn't I? I was trying to work out the miles that you could get from a full tank.
Your garage. One way or another, we'll be out of here today.
You really need to get started, ma'am. Wouldn't want a pretty little thing like yourself sitting in the dock tonight now, would we?
Well, that depends on who I'm sitting with.
Touche.
How are you?
Good.
Yo, we got company.
Yeah. Got to split it now.
What's up, Snowflake? You know, I say I want in, you say no. Then I threaten to tell somebody about what's going on here. Just stop wasting time, all right?
You guys doing?
See, look, 2 extra random dudes in the house.
I had to call my supervisor. He sent them right over. This job is a top priority.
We got her up in our grill checking in on us all the time.
And since I can't dig, I'll volunteer to keep her occupied.
You don't touch her.
Who are you, Sister Mary Frances?
Does he though? That's the thing. Like, I'll be interested to see if we come out of this situation at all about this woman getting harmed. You know what I mean? If he's actually speaking to her. How sticky is his head gonna be after obviously sticking it under that machine?
Really? Is that you?
Oh, is she blind? He's lucky.
Yep.
Yo, he's lucky there, mate. Like, he's stranded into the one house that he can actually get away with eating something and having a shower and that. Look at his face. He's so good with his facial expressions.
And I like mine with a little oomph. Since you're on the clock, I guess you can.
Just 2 fingers.
2 fingers.
You wear an angel perfume.
Oh, Jack and his ex used to have it.
That reminds you of an ex, I take
Yeah.
Good memories or bad memories?
Both.
Oh, I suppose so, innit? You know, when you do have an ex, you do have good and bad memories. It's good that he can still remember the smell of that perfume, though, after such a long time, but it's unpredictable. You never know. Like, so far it's going good, but it's his facial expressions. I've got to give it to him. Do you know what, right? I might actually type... I don't know the actor's name, but I might get the actor's name and then listen to him just speak in an interview, because, like, you get so used to being who they portrayed on the screen. Like, the way he talks, it's just dead creepy. And like his facial expressions, but like I reckon he's nothing like that in real life, and I would just like to see the polar opposite so I can praise his acting even more, if that makes sense. Because, for example, Andrew Lincoln in The Walking Dead, who plays Rick, if you listen to him speak in real life, he's full-on English, hardcore English. But in that, he has got the craziest southern accent ever. When you look at it, you think, wow, mate, for you to be that character, you've actually acted your ass off that whole show. And like looking at him, the way he does it, the way his facial expressions, the way his eye roll, the way he like sucks his teeth and sticks his tongue out and stuff. I feel like he just gets lost in the moment, and he's got his blinkers on and he's just focusing on her now. Do you know what I mean? He's there obviously to do the job and get this money, but now I feel like he's up there and his mind's just lost and he's just seeing it on her. And like I said, mate, she could tread carefully, because obviously, like he was saying, good memories and bad. Now the good memories is, he did say he actually really loved that woman, didn't he? But the bad memories is, he was saying, look, mate, you know, when I get out of here, I remember your front steps, and God hopes that I don't come up and knock that door down and kill you. That's basically what he was insinuating before she spit out the, you know, out the box that he was in. So, I'm interested to see what happens with these two.
Down the road. If you're in trouble, EuropeanGoldfinch.net. It's what we can all use to communicate. Post a note on the message board. It's the Silos Foundation. We just need to find the edge and dig underneath it.
Got to stop in Tuella first. Yes, up the ride.
I thought you already did that.
Man, when the garden center thing happened, I just forgot, all right?
I want you to go back into town. I want you to gas up that car, because I'm not driving around with millions of dollars in the trunk.
Miss Tisseltoe.
I mean, that's the best situation that you could hope for, with him in that room on his own.
Peanut butter and jelly with the crust cut off, just like you like. I don't want to say I told you so, but that was just not the girl for you.
Where is that? That painting?
It's Holland, where I grew up. You know that. So protective from this crazy world.
You'll know that it's not Billy, you know, from the touch. You get used to hands and stuff like that, don't you? Usually they feel the faces as well and know it's not you.
There's an intruder in my house.
I don't think that he's going to stab her, if I'm being honest. I think he's just going to take the painting.
Woody and Chet have been known to drop everything and go boar hunting when the opportunity presents itself.
Mr. Mahone, I'll bet you my lunch money there's nothing to miss around here.
Well, the guy's going to lose his lunch money, innit? I wonder how much his mum gives him.
Whoa, what are you doing?
Those escaped convicts. They're here in town.
You know, he didn't even tape up the guy's mouth that he knocked out. Second guy, Trina, did he? He was just in the back. You see him all days. His mouth won't even open up. So he obviously knows he's closed. And Trina's coming back into town as well to fill up in there. He didn't do it last time. I don't know how many of the, you know, his crew are going to be with him, but I feel like he might get caught or seen. And then obviously they can either... See, the thing is, right, if you was him and you seen Trina driving to town, would you hold back and hope to follow him to take you to the others? Or would you do what you've done with Abruzzo and kind of like try and corner him and leave him in a sticky situation? Do you know what I mean? I always think it's best to follow If you follow them, it'll take you to the gold mine, the money, you know what I mean? All of them there. But again, you could be just, yes, I've done my job, I've caught one, and then try and interrogate him and beat it and get it out of him that way.
Who's there?
Yeah, he didn't touch her.
Please, ma'am. Can you tell me what happened?
There was this strange man. I thought he was Billy.
And once the kids went to sleep and watch her do her routine, and that perfume.
My ex, he was an accountant. It was wham, bam, thank you, Sam. Why did it end with that lady you were talking about?
Oh, she's found out I killed 6 people.
Just went our separate ways.
Could you do something for me?
I'm certain of it.
Strong guy that doesn't speak much, and ask him if he would like to have a drink with me.
I thought she was going to say she's seen him on the news.
You've just been playing me this whole time, haven't you?
Fuming. He's thinking about jamming her with that now, isn't he? Look at him.
Hey, Dad.
Sarah, I've been trying to reach you.
Sarah, you remember that guy that I met with you in your apartment?
He is not who he says he is.
I found out some other things, too. We're right.
Reckon he heard his name drop then?
I gotta go.
See, right, this thing here with Lance, right, okay, I know that he's bumped into her in the supermarket, but, like, I don't know, if I was her, I'd be thinking it's a bit sus. I actually would, I don't know, I might be reading into it a bit too much, but it just is, you know, she's been to one support group, he was there. I'm pretty sure that this was a different support group, and he was there again. I know that they ended up hanging out together, so that's not really that bad, but then turning up again at a supermarket and bumping into him. Now, the way, if he wanted to be seen by her, he shouldn't be, the way he approached her then, in terms of, it was like she bumped into him, if that makes sense. What it should have been is like, he's walking in the distance, do you know what I mean? And then she might see him and be like, oh, Lance, do you know what I mean? Like one of those ones, not like where he's full on had to engage, do you know what I mean? Like in that encounter there, she has to see him and talk to him. Now, to me, that is a bit too much, you know what I mean? Like, if you want stuff to like, and feel like it's just a coincidence, or, you know, like, it's not really set up, if that makes sense, then it would be, like, you being further away. So, like, she could be at one end of the aisle, you could be at the other, just looking on the shelves, stocking your trolley. You go to walk off, she hollers you over, do you know what I mean? Or, like, you're paying at the tills, and then, like, she comes to pay as well. And she's like, oh, do you know what I mean? Like that, where he just gave her in a situation where she had no other choice but to engage in that conversation. That guy's clocked him, hasn't he? Yeah, he's on the phone straight away. Look how quick.
Put 40 on 3. 3.
Oh, that one's been sticking. Hey, we got a customer waiting on 3.
All right, I'll be right there.
Yo, look, man, I'm in a hurry, all right?
Why did he make it all so... Yeah, look, he's just looking up at the door. Like, they make it all so obvious. He's obviously called the cops. Yeah, look, they're here now. He's going to get caught now. There's no way he can get out of that situation. Do you know what I'll do? I jump over the fence and I wait a second and I jump back over and double back on myself, because they're going to be hopefully trying to chase him like this, yeah. He's got a gun on him though, look. Yeah, he's got a gun. He can't get out. People have to get caught. I have no problem with it, but I do like Serena a little bit. Look how far they've dug down.
I think Hillbilly needs to be up in here digging. What you think?
What the hell are you doing up here?
She's got the hots for the big, strong one.
Sorry, Jeanette. We're gonna get back to work
No,
now.
I think y'all are done.
Oh, it's just a cop on the road. Maybe she's called them. Mate, it's gonna be bad news for her. She's gonna get grabbed the air off him, look.
Don't say a word, you old whore. Cut your throat out.
Did say earlier on in the episode, you know, when he said that he was going to go inside and have a chat with her because obviously his hand wasn't like okay. I was saying, mate, I'd be surprised if at the end of the episode she's coming out like walking, do you know what I mean? Because we see how he is with people, and I'm actually surprised that he didn't take her out when she found out that she wanted Lincoln actually and not him after he's put in all that graft, you know what I mean? He is unpredictable and his facial expressions are so good, honestly, they really, really are. Like, he's such a great actor. Now, interestingly, you know, they've got to make a play here. It's either, look, you go down to that door and you tell that officer everything is A-okay, I made a mistake, do you know what I mean? Or, like, it was an accidental call, you know, I was a bit worried, but no, it's fine. Or you can actually blab to that cop and she's getting killed and you're getting killed. You know what I mean? Do you want to really have the responsibility of somebody else's life being ended because obviously, you know, you've brought them here to the house in this situation? Or do you want everybody to go home safe? You'll be okay, we'll be okay, she'll be okay if you keep your mouth shut. Now, if you blab 1 little second, mate, you're both dead. I have no problem in doing it. Have you seen this hand? Yeah. How do you think I got into a situation like this? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd literally say, like, somebody tried grassing me up, a bang, mate, I took them out. Even though we know that's not true. You've got to instill the fear into her to know that you are serious and that she needs to keep her mouth shut, and she can go down and she can speak to the cop, but there's like 7 of us, you know what I mean? Everybody's there now, actually, aren't there? You know, you got Cino and Sucre, they've arrived. Michael and Lincoln, that's 4. Obviously, Tweener, who's actually ran off, so that's 5. And then, and then you got T-Bag, 6. And then, obviously, the one missing is, what's his name now? Haywire, who is actually seen in today's episode for the first time after he pedaled off last season. And he actually was lucky. He went into the house, didn't he? He found somebody who was actually blind. And he managed to actually have some food, get a shower, clean himself up, get in some normal clothes before she realised that he wasn't the person that he was pretending to be. I always think it's amazing how people who obviously can't see can actually feel and know that who the person is that they stood around. You know what I mean? Obviously, touching somebody's face, you do get a gist of it. But even hands, like she said, she realised that it wasn't the person that she thought it was. He took the picture off the wall. He was like, wow, that's beautiful. She said it was in Holland, in the Netherlands. And he's obviously left her, okay, and took the picture. Haywire's not that bad. I don't know why he's actually inside, have we been told? If we have, I can't remember. But I don't feel like he's an actual massive threat to the public. I just feel like him mentally, you know what I mean? Like, you never know what he's going to do. And that is why it's a bit of concern to the people on the outside. But I'm glad that he's been shown into it. Everybody's kind of collected together now. I'm kind of sad that Tweener's been caught. But at the end of the day, people are going to get caught, aren't they? It's all about what we do after them and with their stories. They could be on the inside, you know what I mean, trying to get information took out on them. We still got a big LJ story to play at, you know. Lincoln was trying to talk about last episode as well, potentially getting him. So, you know, we're only on episode 6 now. We've got loads to go, so I'm excited to see where we go from here. But that is now Abruzzi dead and Tweener caught. The list of escapees are dwindling down, mate. Literally, that's 2 of them now in the bag. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. So, they found the location. They've started digging. You know, they've hit the foundation of the silo. They've still not actually retrieved any of the money out there, but now they've got a couple of things in the way. So, she's actually called the cops. They've got her at knife point. We've also got a cop at the door whilst we've got Tweener being captured. So, now it's all, you know, about what happens next. Now, the interesting thing is, like I was just saying there, they can tell her that her life and the cops are on the line and she just needs to go down, report that everything's okay and there's no drama here, just let them dig, and after that, they'll be on their merry way. There's no need to even, you know, be afraid of them, even though technically, like, she's got every reason to be afraid of them right now. Or, like I said, mate, if she speaks, then both of them can die. The interesting thing is, talking about speaking, is we know that Tweener did obviously speak to Bellic the first time around when he was in prison. Now, the second time around, he's been captured, and this Mahomes is going to go in on him. You know, he's going to threaten him with, obviously, like a life sentence and everything like this. And all because, basically, yes, obviously, he escaped, but from his point of view, he's like, mate, I'm in this situation because I stole a baseball card, man. A literal baseball card, and now I could be facing life in prison. You know, he could be panicking himself. We did see this, obviously, given to LJ before to try and hand over Michael and Lincoln in that situation, and now, obviously, it's going to possibly be interrogated on him. Now, he's got to be stuck in a predicament whether he wants to be loyal to technically his friends or whether he wants to rat them out. You know, it's like, do you want to rat them out and reduce your sentence, possibly get out on the outside and live your normal life? Or do you want to not rat them out, be loyal, get put away for many years and let Michael and Cole run off into the sunset with the 5 million? Would they do that for you? That is the question that you got to ask yourself consistently. You know what I mean? If you're here and you're good and you're obviously not going to throw them under the bus, you got to flip the situation and think, if they was arrested, would they throw you under? That's the tough one that you've got to consider yourself. So, it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. I personally wouldn't have chased after Tweener, even though he kind of figured out himself that he's been caught, wasn't he? You know what I mean? Like, he went on the run and they pulled up and chased him. Now, if I was him, I would have run and jumped over the fence and then jumped back and ran back the same direction that I come, because obviously they would have expected me to go the way that I did. Now, like I said, I would have sat on Tweener, let him take me back to the house, and then I would have captured them all. But that's not the way this guy's rocking and rolling. Can't really blame him, but he's got two now. He killed, obviously, a brute there, and now he's got Trina. If I could have a choice in the next episode, I would like to see more of this LJ storyline. I know that, obviously, the way that we've ended it, with obviously Trina being captured and obviously the cop coming to the door, that it would make more sense to stay on this storyline, because obviously it can get intense real quick. But I do feel like LJ's got a lot of potential, and I feel like him being on the inside, maybe the only way that you could utilize him is moving forward a little bit in terms of like these getting away from Mahomes and out of this sticky situation and gathering a bit of money, which then they utilize themselves to actually double back and get LJ as another prison escape, if that makes sense. That's how you utilize him in the story. I suppose it wouldn't make much sense or be very beneficial to the actual season 2 storyline right now if we just seen him on the inside answering a few questions. Maybe he tries to do his own escape, but you know, we did get told that he was being transferred, and maybe that is the time where he actually is moving away from one prison or one location to go to prison in another, where these successfully come and get him themselves. So it is interesting. We're progressing the Sarah storyline as well, with obviously Lance Killerman, whatever you want to call it. The dad's obviously seen him working in the office. He knows that he's a Secret Service. He knows that he's not the person that he's saying he is, and he's showing a bit of concern for his daughter, even though they've told him that if he wants to be VP, that he kind of has to distance himself from her. When actually every dad's natural instinct is, when he thinks that he sees his daughter's kind of in danger, that they're always going to be even more fully involved. So I'm excited to see how it goes. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.